Welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to deal with these topics little quickly but in detailed approach. My name is Gunjan Subedi and as always I'll be guiding you in this topic with practical explanation and examples when necessary. Before starting, let me kindly remind you to subscribe to my Lean University, which is my initiative to deliver free and quality professional education to your screen. In this lecture, we are going to study one of the important tools used in the brainstorming and which is quite popular in almost all kinds of projects, be it the waterfall project or the agile project or even the Six Sigma projects or any lean projects. We are going to talk about mind mapping. So what is mind mapping? Mind mapping is a tool for taking information from your brain and putting it on paper for describing new data coming into your brain. So it's just transcribing whatever comes in your brain on a sheet of paper in the pictorial form that will help you to retain the information, that will help you to brainstorm and know the association between different aspects of the business. Now to understand mind mapping clearly, let us see some of the steps of the mind mapping. Mind mapping first starts with the creation of the central idea. Suppose we want to brainstorm for improving the sales of a certain grocery shop. So what will be our central idea? Our central idea will be the shop. So what we do is we take the word shop, or it's even better if we take the picture of the shop, if we draw the picture of the shop in the middle of the paper. So we take central idea, the shop, and we picture it on the center of the paper. The central idea is the starting point of the mind map, and it is also the topic that you are going to discuss. In this case, we are going to talk about the shop or increasing the sales through the shop. So the starting idea is the shop itself. And as we talked, it should be at the center of the page or the screen. And we should include the color of image that matches to the topic. Here we have to put the picture itself, so we don't have to worry about the color. But we should be aware that whatever the central idea may be, the central idea should reflect the image that we are going to define. If I'm going to talk about increasing the sales of the shop, I cannot just randomly put any picture in the center of the paper. I cannot put the image of the furniture at the center of the paper. That's quite obvious. So the first step is the creation of the central idea, because our brain responds better to the visual stimuli. Now, after we keep the central idea, after we draw the central idea, we start drawing the branches. So we start drawing branches from the central area. The one thing that should be noted is that the branch should be associated with the central idea. We cannot branch it without relation with the central idea. For example, here we have branched according to the relation. For example, suppose to increase the sales of the shop, we have to give the sales training, or we increase our knowledge or literacy of the selling. So the first branching talks about training and literacy. And the second branch might be talking about the customer care. There should be a good customer care. Note that the main branches are called the key themes. So in this particular case, the increase of the knowledge and the customer care are the key themes arising from the central idea. And the sub branches arising from the main branches are called the child branches. There can be customer support, there could also be the online delivery service, etc. And one thing that we should understand is there can be as many child branches and the main branches coming from the central idea and the child branches coming from the main branches and sub child branches coming from the child branches. So we can divide indefinitely as we like. The third step is the addition of the keywords. So here the keywords are increase of sales, increased knowledge, increased training, online delivery, increased customer care, and care call hotline. Actually, we can delete the word increase also. We can just write sales or knowledge or training, customer care, delivery, and a call hotline. That would be even more better here. So we should add keywords that describes the idea in very brief. Keywords should reflect the actual situation, and keywords must be brief. Keywords should always be kept short. So we can make some correction in the keywords in this particular picture also. Instead of the increased sale, we can just write sales. Instead of the long sentence that describes the action itself, we can simply write online delivery. The third is addition of the color code to the branches. We can color code the branches. For example, suppose all the things related to increase of the knowledge and literacy could be represented by the green arrow, and all those things that are related to the handling of the customer care and handling of the people could be represented by the red arrow. So color coding helps you to categorize, highlight, and analyze the information and identify collection. So it's a visual representation of the branching and association, which helps us to understand the actual scenario visually. The fifth stage is the addition of the pictures or the visual descriptions. We already started this particular mind mapping with the picture itself. If we had started with just the words, we can even add the picture, any other visual descriptors, and in the mind mapping. This is because the images are instantly processed by our brain, and this helps us to retell the information and also overcome the language barriers. So what are the advantages of the mind mapping? Let us see the advantages of the mind mapping in the summarized form. The first is, when we do the mind mapping, the associations become clear and responsibilities and timelines are understood. And since the mind mapping is presented in a visual way, it is easier for all to grasp and remember. So it is all to do with the grasping and remembering whatever we present on the mind map. Second advantage is mind mapping increases learning and retention over conventional note taking, because as we know, the color, structure, and picture in the mind map excites the brain and keep it interested and makes learning and discussion fun. The third advantage is we can cover more material in a shorter amount of time, and it encourages use of mind for brainstorming. We can get more activated for doing the brainstorming. We can cover more material in shorter amount of time because there is no any rules in the mind mapping. We can just scribe, we can just draw anything, and we can present on the paper whatever we think inside our brain. And the fourth advantage is mind mapping saves time by taking keywords instead of taking the painstaking notes. Now we don't have to worry about grammar or punctuation or sentence structure while doing the mind mapping. So because of these reasons, we can accomplish substantially more in lesser time. As I have shown here, we do not need to type emails or letter. We save time in presentation of the project. So mind mapping is a very simple tool, but yet powerful tool which helps us to brainstorming possible solution or brainstorming the inherent problems or anything that should be done before meeting or presentation in the project works. Before ending this lecture, let me remind you to join my Lean University's premium membership and enjoy a total free access for limited time inside my Lean University's online library and get tons of free courses, free books, and lecture topics on project management, Lean and Six Sigma, operations and supply chain, productive and preventive maintenance, quality maintenance, data science, industry and sales management, Agile and Scrum, Kaizen or continuous improvement, and much more totally free. No strings attached. As we have limited seats, only the early subscribers will be given open access inside the premium membership, and remember, it's totally free. Please subscribe and share the video if you share the common belief that professional education should be accessible to all.